Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. It's me again. It's Alex Whiteley. Thank you for tuning in on the show. Hope you're all doing really well. Joining me, I finally got him. I've got him. He's in a cage. I've got him. I've got Mike. Dale Hince is joining me. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. It's great to come on. I'm just sorry I haven't been able to get to you sooner.
I know, we were just having this conversation. I poke fun and say, you need to get your priorities sorted out, Dale, and come on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. But it's true, man. Every time I've come into this into your salon, it's just crazy. You're one of the hardest working people in Shrewsbury, right? You just don't stop.
Oh, of course we are, mate. I'll take that all day. No, it's just one after the other, and I try not to let my attention slip or focus on anything else but the client. That's kind of that's at the top of my my tick list, so to spepe.
And it always makes me feel so bad when I'm kind of like, so you want to come on my podcast? And you're like, I'm busy. Like, I know.
I want to take myself away and chat to you, but then I'm kind of like, oh God.
No, but
it's been drummed into me.
No. That's a really good work ethic. And so that was one of the positives of lockdown. It's kind of like, Dale, I can now speak to you. Let's get this thing done. So, because I think your story is fascinating. I'd love to talk to people about it because, you tucked away in the corner there of the parade. The parade is a great place. Obviously, my studio's there. I'm friends with a lot of people that work there, but it is tucked away in Shrewsbury, and it's good to tell as many people as possible about the great things that go on there. And obviously, you're a part of that. But where did this all start for you? Where does Dale first pick up a pair of scissors or clippers? Do
you know what I've done? So that this is like fresh in the brain. I've actually just done a load of Post-it notes and stuck them all on my laptop.
Nice.
Because I am rubbish with dates. Like I can't, crikey, because it's been that long. So going back, I started at a salon in Shrewsbury called Rizzo Hairdressing. That's kind of where I did my apprenticeship. And that was in November 2008. I was actually an electrician before I started my hairdressing career, and both my aunties were hairdressers, and they were like, Dale, you need to, you're wasted talent, because they saw me doing all my friends' hair, and I'd be pulling the lads into my mum's utility and being like, let's bleach your hair, let's cut your hair, let's do this, let's do that. I don't know how I got away with not burning somebody's scalp or something, to be honest. But so I think having those two sort of creative people within my family, and they obviously saw something in me. And I thought, no, I don't want to be. Oh God, no, I couldn't. I'll get bullied, or I'll get, people will give me loads of stick for it. I went on a lad's holiday, came back, and my mindset was different. I thought, do you know what? If I actually want this, people always ask me, how do you get into a salon, or how did you start your apprenticeship, or perhaps people want some advice in the shop. They're like, how do I go about doing it? Well, I basically just sort of copied a dozen CVs, changed the addresses, posted them all out, and thought, right, whoever gets back to me first is obviously keen, so I'm going to take that opportunity when it's there. And that's exactly what I did. Wow. I walked around town, I met them face to face. I didn't post them, actually. I did actually make a point of going in.
Wow.
But I think it's things like that kind of set you apart from the rest. Like, anyone can just get a letter through the door and think, oh yeah, I'll read that later. Or when it's physically handed to you, I think it's when you meet somebody,
it's nice. I mean, I was going to bring up the whole, the blokey sort of vibe around someone wanting to cut hair. But I mean, do you know what? You can look at things from different perspectives. I spoke to a guy on my other show, the USUC US UK stuff, on a live show, a guy called Mick Strawn. Mick Strawn is a physical art designer, but you think of things as makeup and horror effects, things like that. It's not really awesome guy thing to do. Like, do you know what I mean? So when you say to someone, "Oh, yeah, I do makeup," the automatic assumption is, oh, really? Well, this guy's worked with some of the biggest people in Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with you.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what put me off from when I said I didn't want to say that, but that was the biggest thing. I thought, oh no, lads are going to give me some stick. They already give me stick about the way I dress. Never mind if I change careers from electrician to a hairdresser. But do you know what? It's the foundation of where I'm at now. So yes, I don't cut women's hair anymore unless it's very, very short hair. I still could do it, but I've sort of chosen to go down the avenue of men's hair and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful for it now. Actually, it's definitely the foundation of what I am and who I am today, for sure.
I really do like it, actually, because it's It's standing up and saying, "This is who I am. I don't care what you're going to say because this is what I want to do, and I'm good at it as well. So don't just back off." Yeah, I really like that. it does actually offers something to people out there that are probably hiding behind a persona that
exactly.
You wouldn't necessarily associate.
There's so many people in the same situation, isn't there? Like,
yeah. So that was 2008. You started up at the salon. How was it?
So I did my. Go on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, how was it go straight away into women's hair? Were you comfortable with that? Was that something that you just gravitated towards?
Oh, crikey, no, mate, no, I was not comfortable with it at all. If you think, right, most women blow dry their own hair every morning or once a week. They know how to straighten their hair. They know what equipment to use to get curls in their hair, right? I didn't have a clue. I hit people on the head with the hairdryer. I got the brush stuck in this girl's hair. I remember her telling me that she was what was she doing? That she lived in London, but her parents were up here, so she come to visit them, and she had this beautiful long blonde hair. She was really pretty, and there's me with these brushes stuck in her hair, thinking, "Just swallow me up now." It was awful, but I love those times because they're what get you. You need those, don't you, to kind of propel you and to push you forward and think, right, the next blow dry is going to be damn better than the last one.
I can think of a million different things. One I can't really talk about. I'll probably tell you off there, but I have situations that have happened to me very recently where I've had a professional say, "That's never happened to me. That's like a once in a career thing." So yeah. It's so moving from a women's salon into sort of doing your own thing. How did that go all about? How did you? What was the journey like?
So I actually worked at the salon for about 8 years.
Oh wow!
I was very loyal to it. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And it was a really good place to work. It gave me the foundation, like I said earlier. But I kind of just had to find out for myself what it was like. And self-employment back then for me, obviously, I was quite young as well. So it's kind of like it's a risk, a huge risk. I actually got a diary at work. I've still got it now because I always go back to it. And if I have anyone working for me, I just go back to it and say, "This is where I started, which is where you are now." It just sort of like backs up. People see me now like really busy and really, popular within the industry, and they think, "Oh, it's happened overnight," and it hasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to go self-employed. I had various different salons sort of headhunt me, and the really good opportunities, actually quite well-known salons around the country. But I just knew that I had to find out for myself if I could work for myself and if I could do it. So I left the salon. I went self-employed. The plan was only to do it for...
Hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to stop you mid-sentence. You were headhunted by big salons. What was that all about? You can't just breeze over that, buddy. Have we got to go back?
Well, to me, they were the biggest in the industry. So Royston Blythe, they do like a lot of A-listers. They do like Gemma Collins. You've got, wow. I think they date back to like, I think Jordan and Peter Andre's wedding. I'm sure they did the hair for.
Wow.
They had a salon in Dorchester and one in place in Wolverhampton. I can't think exactly where it is now, but basically, yeah, they rang me up. They emailed me. They said, "Look, there's a job opportunity here." But I'll be honest. The truth was, they wanted me to be a colorist as opposed to somebody that cut hair.
Okay.
Because their stylists sort of, someone will color, someone will cut, someone will blow dry, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And because I had all of those skills, I didn't feel like I wanted to sort of cut them away and just have one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wanted to do my own thing. So, yeah, that was a really...
So I didn't mean to cut you like mid-sentence.
No, but
like,
but...
I wonder what it's like to have someone come up to you and be like, "You're so good at what you do.
Want you to...
We want you to work for us," because it's a risk, isn't it? You'd like the grass is always greener.
Yeah. I'd never heard nothing from them before, and then I think because they got caught hold of that I was leaving, and perhaps they liked what I did or what I was about. I don't know, but if my circumstances were different and I wasn't looking to sort of go self-employed, I would have maybe grabbed the chance whilst it was there, really. But
fantastic. We can carry on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, don't apologise. You're doing your job. Just get back to work. So we were just talking. I can't even remember what we were talking about, Dale. We had to take a quick break there because my wife is working behind me, and she had to take a call. But you were talking about sort of becoming self-employed and that journey.
That was it. The jump from Yeah.
So what was that like?
So So it was a big jump from being employed to self-employed, but I think the risks paid off, which is great. I strongly advise anybody, if they've got it in their mind and they got feeling saying they want to do it, they should definitely jump and do it. Honestly,
I mean, that is
terrifying, but
that is one of the hardest things. I mean, the biscuits just become a CIC. It's not, I keep saying this, but it was on my mind all the time that it would just add pressure to what we were going to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a business. I don't want to run it as a company, but at the same time, we could do with the funding. We want to expand and things like that.
Push it, don't you?
Yeah. But yeah, so when did you originally open your first salon then by yourself?
So went self-employed. The plan was to do it for 12 months. It was going to be a little stopgap. And then I was going to get this big salon, and I had all these ideas, and I was on Pinterest every night. And it didn't work. The money wasn't there. I wasn't ready. Mentally, I wasn't ready either, to be honest. So I waited. I carried on cutting hair. And truth be told, I think what it did, I lost my professionalism. So I lost the sort of like the level of professionalism. So, for example, if I went to someone's house to cut their hair because I was mobile, we'd be doing it in the kitchen with the dogs around and washing it over the bath. And that is the truth. So I started to lose the kind of like the creative Dale, the Dale that absolutely loved it and was dead passionate for women's hair. I started to lose that person. And I met this famous hairdresser once, back 2010. And he said to me, the day that he loses the passion is the day that he gives it up. And that's just stuck with me for like 10 years. And I just thought, I'm not the Dale I want to be, and I'm not the Dale I used to be. And because I had all these goals and aspirations of being this barber, it was just digging away at me all the time. And I thought, I've got to do something about this. So what I used to do is what I did is I actually rented like a really small shop, like a room above a gym, just on the outskirts of Shrewsbury. Yeah, well, I thought I'm not a barber. I don't have that many male clients. I think I had about, 4 or 5. And I thought, how can I be a barber but still keep an income to support me and my family? Because I had a house and we got a little girl, and it was kind of just like, how do I get there? So I filtered out my ladies, filtered in my gents. I used to work 1 day a week at the shop that I opened above the gym. And eventually the Saturdays became full. So then I introduced a Friday. I filtered out the ladies. They hate me now, but
you got to do what you got to do, haven't you? You know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to be you, haven't you? So, I mean,
exactly. And I thought, this part of my brain was like, Dale, you want to be a barber? You want to be a barber? And then I got all these ladies saying, can you cut my hair next week? And I'm thinking, oh, but I love them for it because, again, they made me who I am. And I've met so many amazing people through my journey. It's incredible. But
that's what I was going to ask about. Going from that, you said you had this supportive sort of environment around you of these people that really did just help you and encourage you. What was it like going out on your own away from all that? It must have been daunting for you.
Yeah, it's I suppose you've always got their number.
Yeah.
There's certain people that stuck out for me that they almost became like grandparent figures or mentors as such. You know, they're not related to me. I've only met them through cutting their hair, but when you cut their hair for like 6-7 years, they become more than that.
Yeah.
So, I always had the support there. Like, my girlfriend's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. She's like my personal counselor.
We've all got one of them. My wife is, we all say actually pod wives. Oh, sorry, your mic's come out again. I was going to say, an important partner, a partner's the supportive is really, important. Words, Alex. Supportive partners are really important. Yeah. My wife is no different with the podcast. So Shane's always talking about his missus because I'm doing this now. I was recording till 10 o'clock last night. I was having a beer with the guys. But with you, I imagine you've been on this journey that I imagine you've had to take a lot of thought process into sort of changing from women to the barbers, creating your own business, things like that. It must have been difficult.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's been really tough because, let's face it, I earned really good money. I was really comfortable with I had a lot of clients. So financially, I had to take a huge dip to follow a dream.
Yeah.
But if you want that dream, that's what you've got to do. You've got to sacrifice things in life. I had a nice car. I got rid of that. So, I knew how much I wanted it, and I knew that I wasn't going to be happy until I had it.
Things have changed, though, haven't they? All I hear about is Dale Hince and Hinces, and it's one of the biggest. You got this real good big presence in Shrewsbury now. You know, when did that start? When did that Dale Hince thing start in Shrewsbury for you? You know, because it is. I mean, you can't deny it. You know, it's everywhere now.
Yeah, I feel awkward about talking about that.
I know. That was really unfair of me, actually, because when people do that, it's not great. But yeah, let's talk about that.
No, I know. No, no. Like, I love that. Like, I love that if that's the way you see it. That's amazing, because you never know what people's perspectives are or how they see you. But yeah, that's what I want to create at the end of the day. That's why I'm trying my hardest to get the best I can. But I think what it was is my hairdressing and barbering mashed together has made me, you know, the barber who I am today. Like, I can use the clippers, I can use the cutthroat, I can do beards, I can color hair. That's something that, you know, some barbers, not all, but a few barbers, they can't color hair. So it's basically how many strings you've got attached, really. It's it's all of the things, really. They're very important.
It's a good arsenal to have.
Yeah.
Things have changed, though, for guys, I feel, over the last definitely over the last decade. There's a lot of guys care more about their appearance, I feel.
I'd say more than women these days.
Yeah.
And you know what? How often they get their hair cut?
Yeah, really. Well, I don't know, because I've got none. So
when that beard's longer, mate, you'll be in loads. I got some clients, they're weekly, every Friday, without fail. Honestly, it's bonkers.
That's great, and that's why I never get to speak to you. But that's good, though. It's good to see that you're doing that. I remember, like, the first time I started seeing the Cristiano Ronaldo lines in the hair and stuff like that. That was like
love that.
Yeah, that was like a turning point, though. That was like a huge turning point. Like, you see, I mean, when I was a kid growing up, you'd see the odd kid with like a star shaved into the back of the head for the summer holidays and stuff. But now, there is a real care about a bloke's appearance.
No. I think it's social media. You know, it's so broad. Like you were just saying. Then you said Ronaldo. You know. Yeah. That was where the fashion stemmed from, I believe. It was kind of like football players, because they were televised. People were seeing David Beckham.
Yeah.
But now, social media's blown up. You know, people are so, like you say, a lot of my clients are more worried about their appearance than the ladies.
Yeah. It's that Love Island thing, you know. All the guys who on Love Island, they always look trim, don't they? You know, and it's not just hair, though, is it? I mean, there's eyebrows.
Oh, it's the
guys having eyebrows shaped and
take down the lot.
Yeah. What's the extent you go to with this stuff then? Is it just the hair and the beard stuff, or do you look at the eyebrows, things like
that? To be honest, yeah, it's mainly haircut and colouring, and the beards. The beard grooming's a big one, actually. We don't tend to do eyebrows unless somebody says we trim the eyebrow, but we don't go into like the waxing and that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember the first time I let someone put clippers anywhere near my eyebrows, because I have big old bushy eyebrows. I quite like them, though. But when my friend was a hairdresser, she was like, "Come around, I'll do your hair sometime." I was like, "Okay," and she went with the clippers. I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Just giving them a trim." And I was like, "Oh, that's actually really, really nice." Yeah,
just picking the bulk off.
When did you guys open up at the parade then?
So we opened our Hince's at the parade on the 6th of October, and that was shortly after I'd just done one of my first biggest sort of stage presences down in London at the XL Arena.
Yeah.
So that was a really tight time schedule. I was in London. I come back up. The shop still the paint wasn't finished. Nothing was hung on the wall. I was like, my head was just all over the place. But I thought, I've got to do London, get back up, do the shop. And I'll tell you something really cool is this guy that I've made contact with through the industry, he lives in Florida. His name's Trevor Moots. And he's a barber, but he's also like a global educator.
Okay.
So what's really cool is he actually came to England to do various different presentations around different barbershops spotted around the UK. and we were just so lucky that, you know, I've kind of got this connection with him, and obviously I've been seen in the industry on the Instagram, and he liked what we were doing, what we were about, and, you know, reached out and said, could we use your shop? Can I come and cut hair with you? And we'll do like a look and learn education evening.
Wow.
So that blew my mind, because this guy, he's flying from Florida. You know,
wow.
To think that I'm going to meet him because of our Instagram pages. Like, everybody's so negative on that kind of social media, but there's so many positives to it as well. Like, it's
weird how Instagram works, actually. I mean, we're getting lots of shady, I'd say shady companies definitely be like, would you like to buy a watch of us and wear it on Instagram?
Yes,
you know, all this sort of stuff. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
here's your promo code.
As soon as you get over 1,000 followers on Instagram, that's it. They start emailing you, messaging you, like,
they're after you.
yeah. What was the thing in London then? What happened there?
So what it was, I won a pretty big competition back in May 2019. And it was I was competing for a spot for Britain's Best Barber.
Yes.
And I came home with a medal, so I won.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got through the heats. It started with a photographic entry, went through the heats, and then I competed live on stage, on the big stage.
Wow.
And I brought home the gold, basically. So that, I think that, where you said before, where did Dale Hince when did it evolve? I'd say that was my starting point, winning that competition.
Yeah, that's huge. That's massive.
That was a really big deal for me as well, to compete live on stage. It was a really daunting, sort of anxious experience, to be honest, but I managed to get through it, which is great. But
I mean, I gave you a quick Google before we started here, and I did see the picture of you like sort of cutting hair on stage.
Yeah,
I mean, going from like a salon. I mean, some salons play loud music and it can be quite bright and distracting, but like,
it can be quite intimidating, can't it? I think what it is for me, at that point, I'd educated myself prior to it. So like, I'd been over to Ireland, I'd met up with people who influenced me the most and learnt from them. So when I go to the shows and I go on stage, I think back to those times. I think, do you know what? I've got the knowledge and the backing here to perform, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I need that to ignite the flame, really, and to keep me. I think it's hard to explain, because I was terrified. So there's no good me saying it was easy. Because it wasn't.
I can imagine it's difficult. I mean, cutting hair itself, for me, I mean, for you, it's natural. That's you. You do that. For me, that seems like a nightmare. Just like, can you just make me look really great? And
it's angles and all sorts of stuff. It's a mind blowing. Once you've got it, it's a natural knack, I believe. But yeah, so I think being up there, what got me through it was people asking me questions and the adrenaline. So when they're firing questions at you, you're like, right, okay, we can answer that. It fills a gap. And I think you've just got to breathe, really, and just try your best to keep cool, which is hard to say, I know.
But you came away with it as Britain's Best Barber. That's just an amazing title to have. And did you reckon that accolade sort of helped you once you opened up at the parade? I mean, that's what you got introduced to me as Britain's Best Barber, Dale Hince. Like, that's why I was kind of like, whoa, would it be on my podcast? Was there a lot of that?
There was, mate. Yeah. So Chronicle, Shropshire Star. It was really cool because, like, I'm just somebody trying to follow my dream. I'm not saying I'm the best and I'm the best barber ever, but I don't know. I just want to be the best I can be, really.
I don't know, man. I would. I'd be like, see this middle here? What does it say? What does it say? What does it say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. Do you know what? I didn't have it on my. I didn't have it up in the shop, the medal, for ages, because I didn't want people to look at me and make assumptions, basically, thinking that I was the best and all this kind of stuff. And when one of the lads came to work with me, Reese, he said, "Where's that medal?" He goes, "Where's that bloody trophy?" He goes. I said, "Oh, it's in the cupboard." Why? He goes, "Get it out, show it off."
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps it's just the way I am. I don't know.
No, I do feel that. I get you. I get embarrassed. I mean, like, I say all this, but like, I mean, we just won them. I just won the Mayor's Award, and people keep bringing it up. Oh, you won the Mayor's Award. Well done. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I have to put on this persona on the You Suck show last night live that we were joking about. I was like, yeah, man. Shane was on there. He was a guest, sort of Biscuit versus You Suck thing. I was like, Shane, what was the name on the medal? It was Alex Whiteley. Was it Shane Hinton? Was it Shrewsbury Biscuit? I don't believe it was. No, in real life, I'm kind of, that terrifies me. People come up to me and talk about it because it is what it is. This year has been wrought with sort of problems. So you opened up last October. I suppose you had
the flooding as well, didn't we?
The floods?
Well, we weren't hit directly, but it did affect the clientele.
Indirectly, it affected the whole of the county, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then there's this silly COVID business. I mean, so you haven't had a fair run of it, to be fair. You haven't had a fair chance to sort of show people what you could do. What's that been like for you?
I suppose you just got to make the best of the hand you're dealt, really. But I think we're lucky because, like it was established before, and we try and use social media to generate business, and we try and use it to keep motivated. We do a lot of research. We're not sat at home doing nothing. We just try to keep ourselves occupied. And that's not just me. That's all three of us at the shop. And on a whole, like, we motivate each other. So if we see something, we send it across. We're like, what do you think of this? Oh, we need to do this. And it was funny last night. I was chatting to Reese, and we said that next year we're going to take a few days off here and there. Like you said, you can never sort of get hold of me. It's because we're just flat out at the shop, and then sometimes you haven't got the time to do the things you really want to do, like photo shoots, and you want to get involved. We want to get involved doing some big photo shoots next year, working with like different MUAs and stuff like that, and really create some strong images.
I think that's really important, though, isn't it? With your line of work, is imagery is massively important, because what else are you going there for? You go in there to look good, aren't you? You want to look
good, feel good.
Yeah, I don't know who your photographer is, by the way, but he's genius. So I saw a picture of you recently, sat on like a big chair, and you're sort of looking down the camera. I was like, that is a cool photo.
Yeah.
That's
class, actually.
Yeah,
I had a little video shoot, and that was a snippet from. That was a like a screenshot grab from it.
Oh right.
There's always struggled to get pictures of me because I'm always the one taking them.
Selfies. That's my problem. I think Biggie come and took some pictures of me in the studio, and they weren't used in my Shrewsbury. I was like, "Where's my picture?" And it's probably because I was smiling like an awkward idiot at the camera because I, constipated horse look. So
again, things like that. Like I was too busy to go and stand on the steps for the Christmas shoot, and I think they're important, but. The shop's important, but it's kind of like sometimes you have got to take yourself away and get involved with those and be seen, and making time, balance.
We were just talking about while we took the break, while my wife was on the phone. We're talking about sort of post-COVID for you, because obviously one of the big headlines, one of the biggest hashtags was her COVID haircut. Everybody was crying out for haircuts. It wasn't no problem for me because I'm kind of, follically challenged and all that. But it was a general consensus across the world, not even across the UK.
It was absolutely national, wasn't it?
Coming out of hibernation, what was that like for you? It must have been crazy.
There was two sides to it. So you've got 50% of the clients who have shaved, they've got the wives shaving their hair. Clippers, number one, straight off, right? And I'd see that on Facebook popping up. I think, bloody hell. So when they come in, they're like, oh, mate, just leave the top. Just do the back and the sides. So there's part of you that's like, ching, ching, let's go. Like, bloody hell, it'll take me, 30 minutes to get the sides off and shape it all up. And then you got the guys that just left it, that just didn't touch it, and it's down by their shoulders. And you just think, right, where do we start?
That must be, maybe. Does that not feel like a blank canvas, though? It's like, oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what's so cool about it? This is the most interesting part of it. You get to see your clients with longer hair. So there's a lot of clients out there that come in so regular, it's just a skin fade, or keep on top. I'd never see them with their hair outgrown. And there's so many of them, it just looks so good on them. So luckily, I'm in a position where I can say, you're keeping this. They trust me. And I'm like, you're keeping this. I said, this is beautiful. I said, look at it. And they just agreed. And they're still wearing it now. They're still wearing longer styles. And I absolutely love it because I just love using the scissors, to be honest. Oh, I love these longer styles.
That right there, listeners, is pure passion. What you're listening to right now, as somebody that enjoys their trade, someone that knows what they're doing and enjoys it. I think it's great. But you were saying like you had this massive burst of people rushing to you, and then it just sort of petered out as time went by. What do you think that was? What do you think that's just because it felt like a busy sort of period for you, or do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose it's the hours we were putting in. We were putting in more hours than we would do on a usual week. So I guess we felt we were just so busy. I wouldn't say overwhelmed because we've got a really good booking structure, which works really well. It keeps us on time and keeps us on track. But yeah, I think we just cut everybody. And there's so many people, like I said, that had cut their hair so short that they didn't need a haircut. And there's people out there that thought, yeah, I'm just going to keep growing it. People were scared. Some people didn't want to come to Shrewsbury, come to town, and it was a variation of various different things, really.
Coming into Shrewsbury is something I understand now. My one of my co-hosts for you, Tom Stevens, he's got a big long beard, big red beard, and he's proper proud of his beard. Loves it. He'll try. He's in Cheltenham, but he's got family in Sheffield. Yeah. So what he would do, he was kill two birds with one stone. He'd go to Sheffield to see his family, and he'd only go to a specific barber in Sheffield that's meant to be really famous. Lots of people go there, but like he would go all the way to Sheffield just to have a beard trim, and like he's so particular about his beard that it's a big deal for him. You know
what? I think that could be Seville's. You heard of that before? Is it Seville's?
Possibly. I'm going to ask him now while we're talking, and he'll get back to us. But yeah, it's people are particular about things like that, though, aren't they?
Oh, mate, massively. It's trust. Like I said to you before, like I've got the trust of my clientele now. So what I kind of say goes. We work together to achieve the results that they want. They kind of sometimes say, "Do you know what, Dale? You do what you think. What will suit me." And that's a big thing. So like even for myself, like I won't just go to any barber. I'll be very specific who I go to, and if I like what I'm getting, I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having this beard. I really am. I haven't grown my beard out in such a long time. I've got past the itchy stage now. I'm getting through this. What the heck am I going to do with this moustache stage?
Yeah, mate. You need to get yourself in. We'll sort you out.
Yes, I will. That's the only reason I'm growing this beard there. Is just so I can come and see you. I have a reason to come in to see you now and not talk about podcasts. We're coming out of lockdown on the 2nd of December, and we've just been put into tier 2, which I think is puts you in a position where you can work again. Are you looking forward to get back to the?
I certainly am, mate. Yeah. I had 4 weeks off, lockdown 2, so it was a month. I had loads of plans. I wanted to dive into my photography. And do you know what? I haven't done a thing. I've sat back. I mean, I've got my little girl, so she's kept me occupied. But I've kind of took it as a bit of a break, really, just to kind of unwind and sort of look from the outside in and think, okay, what do I need where? And yeah, it's kind of been really good, actually, to be honest.
TS has just got back to me, by the way. He literally reads, "You know it, son. Only one in the country. Absolutely beautiful." There he goes. Savills.
Did you put stuff? Yeah, I told you, didn't I? Yeah. Do you know what? I love that. I love that because, a lad I used to cut hair, he left me to go to uni. And I had to do some research because if that happens, I always like to look after my clients wherever they go. I like to make sure they're going to the right place. And that was where I recommended him to go.
Yeah, apparently it's such a big place. People come from all around the country just to go there. It's cool. So that made me laugh.
I'll tell you something cool. The owner of it, his name's Joff, and we're going on a bit of a tangent now, but I've just done a huge competition, which we'll probably come on to in a minute. But one of the judges is called Joff, who is the owner of Seville's.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
So there you go. That the reputation precedes them. Obviously. So what? Hold on. We can't just not talk about that. Are you talking about another competition you're doing?
Yeah. So I entered about 4 months ago, I believe. It was a photographic entry for Wall British Barber of the Year 2020. So it's even bigger, to be honest. You've heard of Wall before?
Yeah, Wall, yeah.
So they've been going for 101 years this year. They are the biggest and the best, in my opinion. So yeah, the lads at the shop were entering. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. So I chucked my entry in, sent four photographs off. But the cool thing was there wasn't really that much of a criteria. It was quite open. So it kind of kept you guessing as to what are they looking for and what do they want to see from the barber, you know, what's going to really stand out. So I sent 4 images off, four different images. And then I got an email about 4 months later to say that I'd been put through to the top 6.
What?
I mean, that's pretty mind-blowing, to be honest.
So congratulations for that, by the way, first of all, before I ask my next question. That's fantastic. I can't believe that. Wall is, you're right. That's the brand, isn't it? That's the haircutting brand. I mean, I've used Wall before.
Absolutely.
But so did you and your guys all sort of go into this competition individually or as a
So you go in because the comp is Britain's best barber. We all went in individually, so I believe there's probably, I don't know, there's thousands and thousands of entries. But I think what it was, maybe what I decided to do was actually show them what I can do. So, for example, I sent a shot that was in a chair. You know, it's just a standard photograph from my shop. I sent them a male, I sent them a female, and then I sent a few that I'd done like a few photoshopped images, so I could show that I can kind of go down that avenue as well.
Yeah,
and I put in there about obviously that I can color hair, and there was a little bit that you could just enter in a message really, and I just tried to show them who I am, what I am, and it's obviously worked. And I actually find out today who the winner's going to be.
Well, my fingers are well and truly crossed for you, sir. You'll have to let us know. Sure. Drop me a message when you know later today, so we can put that in there.
I'm sure you'll know. You'll see it.
What we should do is we should record a congratulations, well done, you won. And I'm really sorry, Dale, you lost. But it's not a loss, though, is it? I mean, you top 6 in the whole country. Wow.
Oh, mate, yeah. Do you know what? I feel really proud I got this far because the people who I'm against, they are strong competitors. So, and do you know what? I know quite a few of them, and they're really, really nice guys. So I'm just really happy that we're in together, if I'm honest.
No, that's really nice. That is really good. Well, you know what? I wish you all the best for when things open up again, and hopefully this lockdown will be the last one that we've had. I know tiers will change. Etc.
Yeah, we've just got to take it as it comes, I suppose, and just keep optimistic about things, really, and try and keep a positive mindset. And if you're not working, try and maybe just completely relax like I did, or perhaps put pen to paper and make plans.
Do you know what? That's a really good bit of advice, actually. I mean, because I've been working throughout the whole thing. I mean, I said I'd love to have been furloughed for a couple of weeks. You know, just. Everybody's complaining. TS is one of who I talked about earlier. He's like, he's been furloughed since March, like, you know, and he hasn't been able to go out anywhere really, and he's driving himself crazy. And I'm like, I'd like a slice of that pie just for maybe a couple of weeks. I don't blame you, Dale, for taking a few weeks off to relax. I think it sounds great.
You need it.
One last question before we go. When it comes to like makeover programs, things like that, it's always fascinating to see when Gok Wan turns someone into a stunner from whatever they looked like before. Queer Eye on Netflix, fantastic. I love that. That's the right name for it, isn't it? Queer Eye for a straight guy.
I don't know. Do you know what? Believe it or not, I've only just got Netflix.
Oh, really? There's a makeover show called Queer Eye for a Straight Guy. I think it's called Queer Eye.
Oh yeah.
And it's a makeover show, and these guys are so crazy. Yeah, and they're like really like camp, and we're like, oh my god! And they grab someone, and they change their lives. They literally change the whole lifestyle, change their hair, change how they live, and they really do. Have you ever made someone over? Have you ever like done that to someone, like where they've come in looking like, I don't know, groundskeeper Willie or something, and you sent them out looking like Brad Pitt?
Oh crikey! I'd like to say yes. whether I've told them that or not. But yeah, do you know what I did see once, which was really, really cool? It was in Italy, and they took this homeless man. He was overgrown, his beard, he'd not had his haircut, it was really long, it was very grey. And they took this homeless man, they took him in, they took him under their wing, they dressed him, suit, put him in a shirt and tie, cleaned him up, nails, hair, makeup, coloured his hair, they trimmed all his beard. And I swear to God, this guy looked like an Italian fashion designer. Wow. Like, the women would flock. They would drop at his knees. He was actually a beautiful looking man.
Amazing.
I love that kind of stuff, though. I always watch that kind of stuff. But I suppose we transform lives on the daily. That's what I like to say.
Well, I think it's really important to feel good about yourself. I mean, I was just talking about my beard off air, and I was talking about this. I've got this like silverback gorilla sort of stripe, just one white stripe right down my beard. And I'm thinking, I'm probably not even going to colour that. You know, I think that's quite unique. Like
exactly.
That. And you know, it's important to feel good about yourself and to feel confidence. And I think people that come through to your salon, and you give that to them, you're actually making their day a bit better. So you know, that's really cool.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. Do you know what? They brighten up our day as well.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. We just come in, good half an hour, good chat, really nice haircut. And
they're probably telling all their mates as well. Yeah, I got a Hince's, mate. You need to go Hince's. They're great. You know, word of mouth.
They're our walking advertisement. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Dale, I won't keep you much longer. I know you've got a big announcement to listen to later today. Hopefully it's a good one. But you've been a fantastic. I'm so glad I finally got you on the show. We'll have to do this via Zoom some other time because I know I can't do it in the salon or in the studio because you're such a busy guy, which is great. I love that.
Thank you. I really appreciate you messaging me because it's one of those things where I think, I actually want to do it. Like I want to do this. It's a time thing. So, you know, I don't really have many days off. I'm kind of just flat out. So yeah, it's nice that I've got it done. I feel like,
yeah, it's not. I never want the biscuit to feel like a chore. You're a busy guy, and I don't want you to feel bad for that because
no, and I don't want to give you a snippet. I want to give you my full abiding attention as well.
I have enjoyed chatting to you, Dale. I think you're a great guy. You're a great advocate for Shrewsbury, and I think I can just see you growing from strength to strength. You know, you Hince's will be the new Nicky Clark.
Better than that. No,
better. I reach for the stars,
absolutely.
Man. Reach for the stars. Dale, you've been fantastic. Would you like to tell people where to find you, where they can find you?
Yeah, so we are in the Parade Shopping Centre, which is at the back of St Mary's Church in Shrewsbury. If you're walking through the main doors and take a left, we're just at the end. Yes. And if you want to book an appointment, I'll just drop this in there. You can go online and search for hinces.booksy.com.
Fantastic.
So that's all you need to do, really.
Look for Hinces on Instagram as well. Great Instagram account there. So if you want an example of what they get up to, definitely go on their Instagram. I would like to give our listeners as well the opportunity to check out our website. All our audio is available on there. Go to www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. Our website is made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. We thank that. If you need a website, check them out. Dale, you've been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Not a problem.
No, good luck with the award, and I'll get you on again. We'll do this. I'm not even going to say that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I've actually got something else in the pipeline as well. We won't talk about that, but it'd be quite cool once that's revealed. We could kind of catch up after that.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't just have to do this in the afternoon. We can do it in the evening, have a couple of drinks. You know, we'll do it that way instead. Yeah. Have a great day, Dale. Good luck with your announcement later. Let me know what happens.
I'm nervous. No, thank you.
We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.